it as a tool and he became sober, and that's really all that matters. Being sober, at the end of the day, is the number one priority. And that's kind of what he taught me, and providing for yourself and for your loved ones, making sure your bills are paid, and just being a man. Pretty much before that, I wasn't. I had a house, I lost it. I had what I thought was a big group of friends, and I had a whole nother YouTube channel called The Chalkboard where we pretty much sat around and drank beers and podcasted. And we did it weekly. And we did it weekly. I think I did it for 2 years. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was fun. And it was a good time. And, I had to be willing to let all that go. I mean, it was gone anyways. So I guess I should rephrase that. I had to be content, and then I had to be satisfied with letting all that go because it wasn't going to be there. And that's another thing I still battle with, is like not wanting to go back to drinking or not wanting to go back to beers and bros or my friendship or anything about my past. It's just that now that I'm past all that, what do I do? And it's like, what's my purpose? And how do I keep myself from sitting around and having nothing to do? Because that's terrible, especially for an addict. You sit there and you get to thinking, and you can get really into yourself. And especially if you're not in a good place, that isn't always a good thing. So for me, especially as a younger kid, when I went through what I went through with my dad as a child, like when the house burnt down and we lived in a shed, and like we had no sink, no kitchen, no bathroom. We ended up, we used an outhouse for 2 years, and we lived in a shed about as big as a one bedroom. And me and my dad lived in there. We had a fridge. I mean, this was a whole part of my childhood, and we'll probably dive into that one day. And my dad was put into a really tough situation in my childhood, and he did the best he could. And I think he raised a pretty damn good kid. Now, I had my flaws, and I went through my addiction and stuff, but honestly, I did that in a whole nother state. And a lot of the reason I think I did what I did is it was just the crowd of people I was around. We're all doing the same thing. And now that I'm not around these bad people, these people that aren't necessarily good for me, right?